Welcome everybody to the Brother Speak podcast. This is Brother Speak. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. So the last live stream, terrible, and I listened to it, and it was just irritating me to see that live stream. So after I get done with this one, I'm going to take that one down. Um, I I was very disappointed in it, and my internet just went to shit. And I thought it was gonna get better, but it didn't, and it just got worse. And then I tried to do it on my phone, and it was just ah, it was a mess. You know, it was just a mess. And I like to personally apologize to people who were listening to it, and because I don't usually take live streams down. I really don't like taking them down because, in my opinion, especially a lot of people take them down because, well, uh, they say something about someone, then they see the heat coming, and then they take it down. I don't like doing that shit personally. To me, that's a punk move. So most times, if I take it down, it's usually just the quality is just that fucking horrible, and I just don't. But
Well, thank you, my friend.
but but we're gonna redo it, and we're gonna do it right now. So let's get into it. So for everybody who didn't know, Off the Rails podcast, go check it out. Uh, Pearl came over there, and they did a debate. It didn't go too well for Pearl. It just made her into the whiny woman that she complains that women are being today. She literally became that whiny woman and became a Karen. So it's like, again, it's like every time, every comment that she says about women, she ends up being the representative. And it's like, it was funny to me that we had people like BGS, and we got other black guys like Trey, and even you got women. I'll say, oh, we love Pearl. Pearl is a representation of a fit, feminine, friendly female. When in many cases she has proven that she is not feminine, she's not friendly, she looks terrible, and you just have to ask yourself: Do people do some of these guys hate women that much that they just need anybody? I mean, and the fact I remember BGS saying we could use her as a tool to speak to Congress. And if you look at this debate, you can tell like this chick can't speak for nobody. She can't even speak for herself. She don't know what she talking about. She's always contradicting herself with all these ideas that she have in her fucking head. It's crazy. So the first thing that I wanted to get into with the debate, if you want to check out the video, I'm going to put it in the link of the description, and you can look at this debate for yourself. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna go through the whole video because that thing was 3 hours long, and I'm trying to keep this as short as possible. But I will go over some things that I was seeing. The first thing that they went over was divorce. And Pearl was like, she wanted to ban divorce. And Ethan was like, okay, now you want to ban divorce so that you can't, nobody can get out of divorce. Okay, so what is a situation where there's abuse? And she was like, well, okay, we can allow for abuse as long as it's one sided. And he would say, okay, so how are you going to be able to tell if it's one sided? And she's like, well, they can go to criminal court and file charges for domestic abuse there. And, if they could prove there was domestic violence and the person convicted, well, okay, now you can get that divorce. Now, it sounds interesting, but then you have to understand sometimes the court is not about what is actually true and just, is who has the better argument. Because her thing was the reason why she was saying that, because in divorce court and family court is the balance of probability. They don't use evidence, which is a lie. It's not that they don't use evidence, it's that which one is more which more is more true, this happening or this happening. So you can have evidence in family court and divorce court, but it follows like the civil suit probability. You just got to prove that this was more likely to happen than this one. Whereas a criminal case is more based on just the evidence. But here's the thing, even with criminal court, it's not only based on the evidence, it's how that jury views that evidence. Because listen, there's lawyers who can take it. If you got a good lawyer, they can shape the jury to see it the way they want to see it. So let's just say, okay, we both, me and let's just see me and a woman, we both boxing each other. We got into a full on fight. A lawyer can look like, wait a minute, well, Brother Speak is the bigger, stronger man, and the woman was just defending herself. Therefore, he was the abuser, he was the aggressor, and she had no choice to defend herself. Therefore, he's a domestic abuser. Now, I'm convicted as a domestic abuser. She can go take that to the court in Pearl's world and be like, well, he's an abuser. Look, I got this court hearing. I got this court decision saying that he's an abuser. Boom. She gets her divorce. And I'm paying out all this money for this divorce. That's if I got money. Now, that's a that if you got money. Because let's face it, as I'm gonna talk about the whole Derek Jackson thing. Sometimes people don't really got it like that. They really don't got it like that. But regardless, so you're depending on a criminal court, which we know that if you really, it depends on what lawyer you have. If you have a sucky attorney where it looked like you were the abused person, now you turn about you the abuser. So now let's say the reverse. Okay, now you can't even prove there was abuse. Now you stuck in a marriage, and that's even and this ain't for men. It's also for women too. So it's like nobody can lead the divorce. Where it might be better for them to lead the marriage, because personally, like, well, and Ethan was saying which one is more destructive, a divorce or watching your parents getting beat up. And Pearl, well, just mocking him. But it's like that's a serious thing because back in the day, hey, we got to tough it out for the children. Let's stay for the children. And we know that children are perceptive. They may cannot speak and understand it a way an adult can do, but they can understand when their parent is unhappy. They can see it. You can't hide your unhappiness. I don't care how great an actor or actress you are. You can see people when they're unhappy. The verbal cues. You can look at the bags in their eyes. How they moving ain't the same. How they talk is not the same. But when a person is tired, you can tell. I I'm looking walking around normally. I've had coworkers, female coworkers, male coworkers. Hey, you really okay? No, I'm all right. No, you really okay? Cause you're not looking too good. And if you think children can't pick up on that, you crazy. Because there have been times I've looked at my mother and I said, "Mama, you really okay? I'm all right. No, are you really okay, Mama? You need to go rest. You need to go rest." This is something that people can pick up. But in Pearl's world, and by the way, Pearl's not married, never been proposed to. In her world, you don't leave a marriage. It's fucking crazy. And you can look at their marriage, her mama and her dad. Their marriage is not like this loving-dovey relationship. And you really listen to Pearl, their marriage wasn't no lovey-dovey relationship like that. They literally just there for the money. So we're talking about that and how silly it was, and then she conceded, yeah, we can do a divorce. So already the whole stance of banning divorce and it's just like she already relented to that. So it's like you can't even stay on your own shit. Hey, Dame Frankie, how you doing? So you already conceded one part of the thing. And if you think you're going to go to Congress, and this man is not even going that hard and deep. This is a YouTuber. BGS and all these goofs over there is talking about she going to go to Congress. Congress, who way harder, who got people on the payroll just to look you up and find out every little thing about you, all your strengths, all your weaknesses, all your vices, how your mom at, how your dad is like, how your wife is, or significant other, or if you ain't got nobody, how you move in these streets. And if you think for a second that they will not use that against you, you are crazy. Ethan didn't even go that hard. He just used the stuff that Sheaf said against her. Imagine what Congress would do. Imagine what the Senate would do. And you can't even handle a YouTuber? Good luck with that one. So we get into, she talked about the whole red pill, and again, she don't even know what she's talking about with the red pill. She's like, well, the red pill, like when a guy brings a woman flowers and he's expecting her to sleep with him. Again, reducing it to just not reducing it just to sex and not understanding the whole thing of the red pill. If you even go by the matrix, it's about awareness of the things around you. Let's take here's I'll give you an example of what will be red pill and what will be blue pill. Blue pill be like some of these conservatives be like, oh, racism doesn't exist. That was in the back in the day. Uh, if I just work hard at my job, I will get my raise. if I just get this nice education and get this nice car and everything, these women will be with me. If I just be a friend to a woman, she'll eventually find love with me. The government is fair and balanced. They don't treat nobody wrong. These cops, they don't mistreat their citizens. And if they are mistreating them, it's usually the criminal's fault. Um, Women are, they sugar and sweet and everything nice. And if they turn bad, it's because men did it. That 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 red pill bring that out and say, no, it's not always the case. There's more to it than just being a nice guy. There's more to it than just having this education, having a good job, and women just gonna fall for you. It takes more than that. There's attraction. If a woman's not attracted to you, good luck with that. It just happens. You can be the nicest guy in the world. You can be doing everything right for a woman, and she still will leave. Why is it that I, who don't really follow the red pill content like that, can explain it better than this dumbass chick? Why is that? Why is that so hard? But yet she can't do it because she don't know. And then on top of that, she want to quote. She was talking about how women reproduce more with felons than they do with non-felons. And Ethan was like, "Well, where's the stat for that?" And she pulled out like a live stream from Rollo Tomasi. Oh, by the way, Rollo Tomasi, the same Rollo Tomasi that put out a tweet saying 20-year-olds go get a vasectomy. This is the same dude who looks like he's transitioning to be a woman, gonna tell 20-year-olds go get a vasectomy. And then when he was questioned about, oh, I was just joking, I wasn't real. And then they really got him. Oh, I don't give advice. What do you mean you don't give advice? What do you think you wrote the whole book, The Rational Male, for? Is give advice. That Rollo Tomasi, she quoting. Oh, the same Rollo Tomasi that roasted her on his own podcast and don't even fuck with her like that. That Rollo Tomasi, that's who you gonna quote. There's no like stat that says women reproduce more with felons than they do regular guys. Me personally, I think it's the opposite, but that's just me. And then she uses the example of, well, people were writing love letters to Ted Bundy. I said, this shit is so fucking retarded. How the fuck? Let's think about this. First of all, people who write love letters to serial killers and like that, those people are fucking weirdos. Let's just keep it a buck. The women that were following Charles Manson, the women that were writing Ted Bundy, what is it, the guy Ramirez, a lot of serial killers, those women are off in the head. You wouldn't want to touch them with a 10-foot pole, and they're not going to be in your dating market like that. Most of those women are not in the dating market. You're not going to enter that. You rarely, as a man, gonna find a woman like that. Now there's some who dated thugs, dated bad boys and stuff like that. You might find that, but actually writing and wanting to be married to serial killers, you're not gonna find that in the dating market. So she's like, it's like, why would you bring up that example? Most of those people are fucking weirdos. I remember there was a black woman saying, there's some black women been online talking about they thugs, but they that's what they want, thugs. But if you look in those women background, you can see those women are kind of off. You can look at them and tell, yeah, something ain't right in the head. That's not the representation of the dating market. And I haven't been in the dating market like that in years. Even I know that ain't a representation of the dating market, especially what she talking about. And even Ethan was saying, okay, but there's men who wrote love letters to women criminals. He brought up Casey Anthony. Hell, Satonia Brown, the one that shot that white dude while she was being a prostitute. She actually got married. She got out. There was a guy, I guess he was this Christian nut. He married her. So like he's saying, it goes both ways. It just depends. But then again, you got to look at some of those men ain't gonna be in the dating market like that. So to use the felon thing, it's just like when these guys say, well, Pookie have all the children. It's like, no, it ain't Pookie. Actually, if you look at the stats, people who are poor have less education. Yes, they do have more children. But the reason for that is because most people who have some sense understand, hey, I don't have no money. I can't take care of this child. Who's going to pay for this child care? Who's going to watch this child while I go to work? Because again, we're not in the era of the 50s where if you working, you can go take it to grandma or grandpa, or you're gonna have a friend that take care of the child. You don't have that no more. We don't have that type of a community thing anymore, and that's across the board. I ain't just talking about black folks. I'm talking about all races of people. Because just like you in the club, grandma in the club, grandpa in the club, everybody in the club, who gonna raise the kids? I remember my mother was like, I ain't. You better not be bringing these kids over to my house. Now, I didn't have no kids, but my brothers had. And no, you got to call me before, because if I got to go to the casino, I ain't taking them kids. And she was upfront with that. So you have a situation where you have families that are not together like that. And Pearl is on this 19. Well, it's not even her talking points. It's these goofy dudes of the manosphere talking points who don't live in fucking reality. They haven't lived lives. I'm like, dude, you in a fantasy world. Come back to reality. Chop chop. Here. Look, reality's knocking. You need to come back. You out of it. So she's not she again, every time people ask her the red pill, she don't have a good answer. And she makes it sound so goofy, so dumb, that it's like you look at these guys like, why the fuck would we take you seriously? You look like a goof. You act, and your belief system is goofy. And this is why, like, guys like Ty City and Ramil was saying, hey, you can't have these women in these spaces. Now, I'm more of, if you're gonna have women speak for you, represent your group, you gotta have women who can speak what you are saying and have mind enough to speak it in their own words, so it don't look like they just copying you, but they actually can process what you're trying to talk about and be able to give it to the masses. It's basically like you having you're the president, and you have women as your press, handle the press, and you see how that goes. with presidents, and you have their relation people, and they speak about the policies and defend against any criticism. That's how you're supposed to have that. In the black manosphere, you don't have that very often. They will latch on to any woman, and they don't even vet these people out, see where they are, like they didn't do with Pearl. They just latched onto her because oh my God, she's talking to black women. She's telling these women off, and you find out she don't know nothing. Simple, I mean, simple questioning she can't even handle. So, so he was asking her, why you defending men? Well, men have it so hard, And the first thing she brought up was child support, and I'm like, of all the things you can talk about, this is what you're talking about: child support and abortion. I listen, I I've had my debates on child support and abortion that I've gotten to the point I don't want to talk about that because men and women are going to always have a separate view on that. Because let's first of all, biologically, men ain't having the children, women are. We just give the seed so the women can have the children. So already we're already on different sides of the equation just by biology. Then you bring the law into it and all that different stuff. I'm like, I'm not about to argue that no more. So the first thing Pearl was talking about as far as like abortion, the old trait where the women could decide not to be a mother because they can abort the child, but the man can't decide that he can't decide if he don't want to be a father or not. And I'm looking at, and Eden didn't bring it up, but I'm looking at it like, who told you that fucking line? First of all, you know how men could opt out from the very beginning by not dumping your load in this chick. You can dump your load on her face. You can dump your load on her ass. You can dump your load on her belly. You can dump your load anywhere not in the vagina. And you're not, I guarantee you 100%, you're not going to be a father. Because again, if you dump your load in a chick, I don't care if she's saying she's on birth control, she got a tubes tied, there is a chance that she can get pregnant regardless. And then yeah, you're gonna end up being a father. And then once that happens, conception, and what she was talking about is that, well, now they don't got a choice. No, you had a choice beforehand. If you're trusting in science, you're trusting in a condom, you're trusting a pill, and you trusting these medical profession. If you trusting all this, which has been known to fail, even tube ties, women got pregnant for that. Oh, she's 45. No, there's no way she's gonna get pregnant. You got women at 45 having children, 42, 43, 45. Hell, Janet Jackson for a $500 million payday got pregnant at 50. You think you're gonna trust a woman like that? You're gonna trust um, science like that? Science that is known to fail? You gonna trust them? I don't. 60-year-olds too. Yeah, damn. 60-year-olds having children. You go you trust you trust science that much? Sorry, I don't trust science that much. I don't trust nothing like that. Women I have sex with, I have not. The only woman I have dumped my load in was my ex-wife. That's the only person. Only. Everybody else, no. Because I don't want to win the fucked up award. I get a woman that I am just sleeping with pregnant. I don't want to win that fucked up award. Now we got to go through all this, and she gonna be calling me saying she pregnant. With who? Who's baby? So again, condoms or nut on her. Or you can try the more riskier one is to pull out. And and you got some of these dudes who that excited over a woman, any woman, you trusting them to be able to control their penises? I know I don't trust myself, so nope, I don't do the pull out like that. And a lot of these dudes who sound like they never had women like that, you trust them to be able to control their penis enough to pull out and nut all on it? I don't. And then even then, the pre-com can get a woman pregnant. So again, other than abstinence, or there is no guarantee that you're not going to get this woman pregnant. But Pearl in her world, oh well, it's all the woman. It's all the woman. I'm like, no, it's not all the woman. Nope, don't trust men. Pull out and they forget the pre-com. Yeah, because a lot of dudes are ignorant. On a lot of well, I'm gonna say a lot of people are ignorant of sex. They're very ignorant, even today's. And some of these people are way too reckless. I remember this woman say, "If you are not nutting in me, we're not fucking." And I'm like, do you know how dangerous of a message that you sending out? And you had literally people agreeing with her, and I'm like, y'all y'all really not really thinking. So you got people like that, and you're gonna trust them who are reckless with their sexual bodies. Then you're gonna trust that they're gonna be good mothers or fathers. So she's like, well, women can get these abortions, and the men they can't opt out of being fathers, which is not true. Which is not true. You don't have to be a father to a child. Mm-mm. I, let me break it down to people. You do not have to be a father to the child. They need to be in adult sex ed classes. Well, they have it in school, but people just still reckless with their penis. We got. It's not so much teaching sex ed. It's, hey, this is the consequences of being reckless with your vagina and your penis. If you're reckless, you're gonna cause a whole bunch of problems, and usually that falls on the children. And, and of course, the man and the woman have their own problems that come with it. And let's just say you want to right the ship and try to be a father to your child. Guess what? You still got this bitter chick around. Or she wants to be a mother and she wants to have the father in life, but you got a bitter old dude who really just wanted a nut. Now you bring in drama. But let me get back to the whole father thing. You do not have to. Men don't have to be fathers to the children like that. He don't have to spend time. He don't even have to be there when the child is born. I see more like sexual responsibility. Yes, that. We all know sex ed, but it's sexual responsibility that they need the classes for. Hey, this is And I ain't even mentioned STDs. I mean, but people, people are just so reckless now, and like they don't care. But back to the whole father thing. You don't have to be a father to this child. You don't have to spend time. You don't have to be there, pick them up from school, go to their games, spend time, right? That's what a father does. Teach him lessons, teach the child lessons. You don't have to do that because if you get on child support, guess what? You A man can treat it just like another bill, like a credit card bill. I know that sounds cold, but that's some truth to it. There's some men who will do that. It's another bill. So what Pearl basically did was reduce the man to a paycheck. Ain't that what the manosphere was saying about how these women treat men? That they treat them like they're a paycheck? Well, you have this chick who's supposed to be arguing for men, defending men, basically reducing the man to a paycheck. So, no, just because you paying don't make you a daddy. You're a daddy on paper, but if you're not spending time with this child, you ain't no daddy. Just like, yeah, she had the child, but if she's not raising that child right, that's not a mama. It's more to it than just you having the baby or you providing the seed. You actually got to take care of the child, provide for it, be there for it, raise it right, give it some values that they can be a productive person for themselves, not just for the society, but for themselves. It's more to it than that. And then again with the abortion part, and like, oh, well, the woman can have an abortion. Like again, I've had those debates about abortion. My thing has always been, look, I don't think a woman should just be having an abortion because oops, I slipped and fell in a dick and got pregnant. Now I want an abortion. No, my personal opinion. Only time you should be having an abortion is the if the woman got raped, is a high chance that she could die having a child. Or the third one, which is iffy, but there's a genetic disorder in your family where that child will have to have someone to take care of for the rest of their life. Other than that, you just killing a child for no reason because you selfish. But I would rather them have the thing about getting an abortion because if you look at what's happening today, what's happening today, you got a lot of children are in broken homes. The daddy ain't there. Their mama is either working way too much, or she ain't worth Diddy as a mother anyway. So you have a child in a harmful situation, and a lot of times they get put in CPS, and that's an even horrible situation. So so my thing has always been, and damn, you remember me and Remy we said this. She came up with it, and I have to thank Remy Norris for bringing this up. How you gonna talk about abortion, but we got kids that's not getting taken care of here right now? They're right in these homes, not getting taken care of. They are latchkey kids. They're at home alone more than ever. Nobody taking care of them, and they just food for a bunch of predators, male and female. They're not being watched at the school. Nobody cares about their grades and stuff. And they got teachers that taking advantage of them. And you worry about abortion. When these kids, a lot of these kids will probably wish they were aborted. But that's what you worry about because she's like, we want to keep the family together. Marriage is important. But this is the same woman that said, well, marriage is a bad deal for men. So wait a second. How are you going to have a situation where you want more families, but you're also saying that men saying that marriage is a bad deal? How does that work? And then you got men who are irresponsible with their penis and don't want to be fathers like that. So how are you going to tell a woman, hey, you shouldn't be getting an abortion? I remember there was a bunch of senators saying, well, even if she get raped, the child ain't done nothing. And I'm like, okay, if you're gonna do that, you want to take abortion off the table. Fine, all right, but then if you want these women not to try to do it illegally, where they can do more harm than good, then you need to be providing all the health care. Make sure that the process of being pregnant is as smooth as possible. Make sure all the health care is free or nearly free. And then when she does have the baby, you let her give the child up for adoption with no problems. If you're not going to do that, what's the point in stopping abortions? And so, but again, going back to what the men, she reduced the men to a paycheck. There's more to it than just giving them $200, $400 a month. The average child support is for what, 432, if they're getting that at all. And then with the services that they get besides the child support, that cuts into their checks. Think about this a second. And I'm like, and you want these people to be in these relationships. You want to be married when most men can't afford a woman, more, much less themselves. You want a woman to sign up for that? Well, she still got to be working and stuff. I'm like, what are we doing here? So, you know, so that went into that, and I'm just like, well, this chick just don't know what she's talking about. Then they went into the whole women has less value as they age, and I that fucking argument, and I'm like, and Ethan was like, wait, okay, so wait a second, like you're 25, you're telling dudes they need to marry at 22, they like younger women, you're 25, so you already strike one. You trying to build an empire, the same thing she got on Brittany Renner about building an empire. You're trying to build an empire. You're outspoken, ta- going after all these women, who that causes a problem for your personal life, because we have seen a lot of YouTuber, Instagram people. It's not just them that get hassled for their opinions. It's also their families. If you remember Pearl first boyfriend, this big black dude, I guess a popular Instagram person, he was getting harassed by some of the comments she made. And he's like, look, she wasn't saying this shit when she was with me. This ain't my fault. I didn't teach her none of this. Don't come at me about it. So all her talking points, the talking points that people have, it not only affects the person, but it also could affect their families. You saw what happened with Derrick Jackson and Denia. They were going in on her, but he put her in the forefront. Nobody even knew who she was until trying to save his image and put her out there. Now everybody was going at her. So you're not only affecting people, you're not affecting yourself, you're affecting other people, and she's causing all this drama. Talking about, and she's up there saying, well, high value men, they want younger women. So Ethan's like, well, okay, but you older, so what high value man you gonna get? And would you respect him? Because if he's getting with a low value woman, you'll say, as a manosphere would say, he's a simp, he's a loser. So you're gonna be ending up marrying a loser. How you gonna respect him? And she was like, oh well, I just be lucky to get married. So he's settling and you settling. How you gonna respect the person for selling? So it's like, uh, I don't know, I don't know what to say, And she humming and humming, have to explain. She's just looking silly. It's like he's not even doing anything. And what was the other thing? Oh, about the high body count. This one was interesting because he was like, Ethan was like, well, you do know on Pornhub, because they make this whole claim that all these men want younger women. All these men, want younger women. They want them to be virgins, and they can't have a high body count, which we know is a lie. We literally have men who marry porn stars. Literally. A lot of you porn stars either in a relationship or married or been married. Hell, we just had the whole thing with Zion Williamson was allegedly paying Mariah Mills 107K, 170K a month, allegedly, because she said it, not him. I can't trust what she's saying, but let's just say it was true. That's a porn star. I've seen some of her pornos. He was paying her 170K, 107K, when the porn director was only paying her like what, $400, $500, and he got another IG model pregnant. These men love hoes. They will, especially is she famous? Hell, I mean, look, fucking Cardi B got married to one of the Migos. Which one? I'd take off. Quavo, one of the two. Now I think that's more of a publicity stunt than anything, but that's me. But the fact still remains: she was a stripper, an IG thought, and she still got married. You got a lot of rappers who get these IG models pregnant, get in relationships with them, get them pregnant. So this whole notion that men don't like hoes, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to dead that. They like hoes. Oh, they don't marry hoes. They marrying hoes. It just depends on what type of woman she is. And truth of the matter is, most men don't care about the body count. No, most men ain't gonna ask. I know I didn't ask my ex-wife, hey, what's your body count? She more or less volunteered that information. I didn't ask her. I'm like, hey, what's your body count? How many men you been with? She volunteered that herself because she wanted to be honest. I didn't ask that. It ain't my business. I know what I can do in a relationship. I know what I can do in the bedroom, which even at the time wasn't that. It wasn't that much. Now I know now. So I know what I can do. I ain't gonna ask no woman about her body count. I don't care. Because at the end, I know what I'm gonna do. And I know what I can do very well. And I know what I can't do. I ain't gonna try to imitate a porn star. Now I may take some certain ideas and try to see if I could do it, but try to just imitate? No, I'm not gonna do that. And I don't want her to be trying to imitate a porn star. You don't got to do that with me. My thing, if you really love somebody, the sex is gonna be great because you're gonna be learning what each person wants and needs, and you're gonna be happy to do that for them. Unless it's just something that you just don't do. And if you with a partner, you're gonna learn that. So this whole thing about the high body count, that's only for dudes who don't get pussy like that. They either haven't got it, or the ones they get they don't want, or treat them like garbage. These are the ones care about high body count. Dudes who get women, even if they not even like rotation and stuff, but they just get women. They've been in relationships. They're not caring about the body count. Now they will care who you dealt with, because who you've dealt with does say a lot about you as a person, but not how many people. Unless you get into the hundreds, and most average men not gonna be dating a porn star or stripper or something like that. But there's men who's going to deal with that. Guys who you would consider high value, they getting with them. So what are you talking about? And Ethan brought up that the at one time the number one, because they also said about single mothers, they don't, these men don't want single mothers. The number one at one time on Pornhub most search was MILFs. Now it went down to I think number three or number four. Number one is the whole step daddy, step sister, step. Pornhub gets weird. That's why I don't even look at it that often. I'm like, yeah, okay, y'all getting weird. This whole step stuff. I'm like, can you? I mean, they trying to get so close to incest that it, as much as possible. They trying as hard to make that mainstream in the sexual market. I'm like, no, most people is not going to sleep with their step brother or step sister. Most people are not going to do that, especially if they've been raised with them forever. Nobody's going to do that. That's some weirdo shit. But porn gets weird. So I don't even look at it that much because it gets weird and sick and like I'm like shit, I can't let's look at this. I don't even want like shit. I want to just look at regular stuff now. It's like crazy, man. And it this whole women lose value. It's not that simple. Just the looks, because there are women who I know at my job, looks are not, they're not the most attractive looks wise, but just their aura, just how they walk, how they talk, how they move. That's more sexy to me than anything. Women like Pearl don't get that because let's face it, she don't ooze sex appeal in any fraction. She do not ooze sex appeal. Look at her. She don't got it. Even when she tries to dress sexual, like it just looks awkward coming from her. And you got dudes saying she an eight. Yeah, after 8 shots of tequila, 8 shots of vodka, 8 shots of whatever drug that you want of your choice. Yeah, maybe then. Other than that, nobody's like, oh man, Pearl, look at this sexual goddess. No, they look, oh, uh, damn. Is there anybody else? Anybody? Uh, damn. Where the trainings at? Shit, at this point, I'm like, nah, I can't. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But anyway, I'm like, nobody's like looking at Pearl and like, ugh, she can't be in the sexual marketplace. She can't be like a Dominica Marie or Sex the Goddess. Um, I'm like, who's a white counterpart? Or some of these white IG models that she be running down. She can't be in that marketplace because she's just not. She she's not appealing that way. She's like the like man. Uh, Down it's 3 a.m. I ain't. Ah, fuck it. Hey, Pearl, come on home with me. That's her. That's her spot. Only people gonna be getting with her and marrying her are fucking nerds. Dudes won't get nothing. Just saw it. Just that's how she looked. So it like that. So that was fucking weird. Uh, what else did she? Oh, of course, the big thing. They had to bring up the whole slavery thing. That's when Pearl turned into a true Karen. She turned into a whiny chick that she was complaining that women be whiny. So Ethan was like, "Oh, well, I saw that you said here that slavery was embellished. So how was it embellished?" And she came up with the same excuse. Well, I got this from Thomas Sowell. And he was like, no, 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 no. I don't want to hear about Thomas Sowell. I'm talking about you. How do you think? Well, I can't answer that. What do you mean you can't answer? It's simple yes or no. Well, if I talk about it, people gonna get mad. I'm like, but they already talking about they already getting mad. So what's the problem? And of course, well, Ethan kind of was like, "Oh, I didn't know about the backlash." I'm like, "Come on, Ethan, there was some backlash. That was the whole rage of fucking social media for what a good month." No, don't play dumb, but I'll give her credit. He was trying to play dumb, but the whole point. But he was like, "Well, then the simple answer is no. I don't think it was embellished." She would not answer. She wouldn't answer it. She would not answer, which means, yeah, she still believes that it was embellished. She do, but she's smart enough not to try to answer that. And then she started whining. Oh, you're trying to attack me. You're trying to pin me down. No, he's asking you some fucking questions. Answer the question. You ratty broad. Answer the question. Wouldn't answer it. Then she started whining. Then she huffed and puffed, and then she ran off. And that was the end of that. But like I said, I could pin it down in the comments so y'all can go see it. She turned into the whining chicks that she complained that these women do, whining about men. She turned into that. She turned into a full Karen. So it's like it's sad that, and you got men, black men in particular, saying she's gonna speak to Congress about our issues. How? She can't even handle this, and this is not the first time when she has been interviewed. She was made to look stupid. Jesse Lee Peterson. Everybody tend to forget that she was on Jesse Lee Peterson. And Jesse Lee Peterson, if you look up a definition of coon, Jesse Lee Peterson would be, hey, a picture of him right there. Coon, right here. And he wasn't even giving a hard question. He was making conversation. She still couldn't answer it. The one question that I saw, she got on the Supreme Justice lady. I forgot her name, Miss Jackson. I forgot her first name because she couldn't answer what is a woman to you, and she couldn't answer it. But Jesse Lee Peterson answered, "What is a man?" And Pearl couldn't even answer it. So you getting on this lady, a Supreme Court judge, who's going through Congress and answering, but you can't even answer what is a man on a YouTube spot? You couldn't handle questioning, direct questioning. Ain't nobody calling her. Nobody's putting up barriers like fucking Obsidian. They're asking you hard questions, and she crumbled. She started crying. She started being a Karen. Oh, you attacking me. You attacking me. And he's like, well, hell, you attack all these other women. You getting their personal lives. Oh, well, why you got to get my personal? You getting all these other women personal lives? So now somebody do it to you. Now you got a problem. Get the fuck out of here. I ain't trying to hear that. Answer the damn questions. She didn't want to do it. She ran off. Sad. But these are, but you got black men saying, "Oh, Pearl's the homie. Pearl's gonna tell these black women off." Tell who off? Goofy chicks? That's not hard. That's not fucking hard. But actual people who got some sense, who looking at her like they not looking at her like this oh, my messiah, like some of the people around her, like Auntie J. Now that chick is a fucking mammy. She, if we were back in the slavery days, she'd be in the house dissing all the other black folks. Who else? King Richards? Yeah, you like big willies, yeah? You like big willies, yeah? Big for nothing. Nick Fuentes got in his girlfriend's ass on the show. And this dude didn't do nothing. Didn't even say nothing worth anything. Big for nothing. He went, got in that gym, worked out, got big for what? Nothing. Just to go on this white woman's um, team and asking other women about willies. You like big willies, y'all? If you don't get your big willie ass up out of here, sound like you fascinated more with willies than you are with vagina. I see why your girlfriend was the tougher one of the two. A, a skinny, pearly white dude is getting your girlfriend's ass, and you didn't do nothing. Man, get the fuck out of here. But these are the people around Pearl. So of course she looks like she's the star. She's around bums and morons. But when real people who's not kissing her ass, who's not fascinated with the fact that she's telling women off, they actually asking her some questions. She can't handle it. It's fucking garbage. And these are the same. And you got BGS talking about she gonna be used as a tool. She gonna speak for black men in Congress. And like I said before in the early of this live stream, the same Congress who have people on staff to look up everything about you. Same with the Senate. They got people paid to look up everything about you, all your strengths, all your weaknesses, all your vices. They're going to look in your family like how your mom is, your dad is, everything. And they will use that against you in those hearings. And you think for a second, this chick who who is whining on a fucking YouTube podcast is going to handle the Congress? Going to handle Senate hearings? Do you really think that you are fucking smoking something? It's like, wow, this is embarrassing. But yet, oh, you just hate Pearl. No, I don't hate Pearl. Well, I do hate Pearl. I'll be honest with you. I hate Pearl, but I don't hate it because who she is. I hate the fact that people are trying to make her into this red pill messiah, so and which she don't even deserve. I hate the fact that you got black men who will literally sell out his own race for this chick. Not just hating on black women, just hating black people. A lot of these manosphere guys, they don't just hate black women. No, no, no. They don't just hate black women. They hate the black men who can get these black women. They hate the fact that they're black men who are in happy relationships with women. They hate that because they never could achieve it for whatever reason. These dudes who claim to be incels, and I don't even look at these guys as incels. A lot of these dudes, if they would change their view on things and actually live life, they wouldn't have a lot of this angst and anger and bitterness towards women. If they would just work on themselves, get themselves better. There was a psych hacks, and this white psychiatrist had a good point. You know, a lot of these dudes are talking about, well, why should I do self improvement just to get a chick? These chicks ain't worth it. And the guy's saying the point is not the women. The point is getting better so you can have better outcomes. You improve yourself so you can have a better life for yourself. You're not doing it just to get a chick, because even he said you could do all that. Work out, fix your credit, fix your teeth, fix everything about you, and you still will not get the woman that you want. But if you're doing the self-improvement, you're doing that so you can feel better about yourself. You help your mind, body, and soul so that you can get the better woman. So you may not get the woman that you wanted, but you get the woman that you needed. But these guys don't see that. And you got goofy chicks like Pearl who wants to feed into their rage and their anger for a profit. One to turn against family. And listen, not everybody deserves to be in a family. Not everybody need to build a family. It's not my issue. But if the way she trying to do it, you're gonna make this man not want to have a family like that. Or they're gonna be the type of fathers like her father was, only there for the money. She looked at her coach, oh, the same one that she meet too, as a father figure. Do you know how effed up you have to be as a daughter, and how embarrassing for as a father that a white father to say to have her daughter came out here in public and said a black man was a father figure to her. She don't even respect her father enough to be, hey, maybe I shouldn't tell this story. What kind of woman you want her to be around? She don't even respect her father. But they want to cheer her. Oh, she's just femininity. Oh, she's gonna have a wife school. She don't even know how to be a wife. She don't even know how to be a daughter. She don't even know how to be a woman. How's she going to speak for anybody? And this debate just proves that she can't speak for herself. She can't speak for men. She definitely can't speak for women. She can't speak for nobody. She's worthless. And but you got a lot of broken people, broken men, broken women, especially the men, who think she's the gospel. And that's the saddest thing of all. That's why I hate Pearl. I don't hate her as a person. I just hate the concept of her and how everybody is just on this chick's clit when there's no reason for her to have this. But you got a lot of broken people here who hate the other gender so badly. Men and women. They hate women that much, which is insane, especially for the women. I can understand the men to a degree. But the women, you that mad at women for what? I don't get it. I mean, I let me backtrack. I get it, but it just don't make sense to me. It just like, especially this woman of all people. But what do I know? I'm just a black man right here. I'm just the black pillar of the world, looking at it and be like, I don't trust these bras like that, especially ones who gonna talk about how supporting a group that is many times anti-woman. But again, there's some women who hate women. You know what can you say? Um, but to any black men who are listening, young men, older men, you can't have women like this around you. Just you can't. Don't let no woman speak for you. They can't. Um, can't have her own opinions. She's copying you and copying you badly. Who don't want to be around women like that? Yeah, that's the kind of woman you don't really want around. I'm sorry, just being honest. You don't let these people get you to hate women. And I understand, hey, guys get their heart broke. I know that you find out with the red pill, which I said the red pill in itself is not a bad thing. I know some people will disagree with me, but I believe red pill is a good thing. I do think you need to have blinders off when it comes to women. They're human beings. They're not goddesses. They're not the demons. They're not anything. They're just human beings. They have faults. They have weaknesses. They have their own strengths. And the only thing you can be able to do is vet as much as you can, talk to them, have honest conversations as much as you can. And you don't have to be going around trying to expose people. Just talk to them. You're going to find out how they really are, but you got to be patient. And a lot of us are not patient, especially as men. We're not patient. Especially you got a woman with a nice ass, nice titties, or she's just treating you nice when no other women have, and you lose sight of having patience. You got to take the time to know this woman, and don't be just jumping off the porch for her. Know who she is, know what she about, and then decide is she worth it. But all these people out here talking about selling, trying to sell you that these women need to come back to the table and this femininity stuff, it's all a scam because most of those women that ain't gonna even gonna follow it. And they pandering you that much, they setting you up to get you. That's why I would say, even with men who pander too much to women, they're gonna set you up and then they're gonna stab you in the back. Seen it happen on YouTube a lot. The next person I'm gonna talk about, Derrick Jackson, did that. Don't deal with panderers. If they're pandering either to men or to women, you as a man do not deal with that man or that woman because they will stab you in the back for that person. Just the way it is. So I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you, Dame Furky, for coming through. Appreciate that. And again, I like to apologize for the last live stream. I'm gonna take that one down and leave this one up. You know, I can't have a terrible live stream, especially something important like that debate. I can't leave that stuff up. So with that, I'm out of here. Black men, be powerful or be powerless. The choice is yours. Y'all have a good one. Peace.